First run in Salzburg. Enjoying it so far. I've only gone a quarter of a mile. Okay, hey guys. So we're in Salzburg, Austria. I've got the Mozart 100 in 2 days. It's Thursday today, the race is on Saturday. So it's 105 k's, 4,700 meters of elevation change, so quite a lot of climbing. So just out here now, just on a nice and easy run. Shake the legs out after 24 hours or so of traveling from Chiang Mai, Thailand. So I'm just going easy today. It's really difficult to not want to go up to these bad boys on the horizon. Huge mountains. Pretty sure I don't go to the top of any of these, unfortunately. But I guess I get some pretty awesome panoramic views, so really looking forward to that. But these are incredible. Austria, you are so beautiful. So just out doing a nice easy taper run today. Nothing too long, been a really easy week. A lot of traveling, a lot of sitting down. So yesterday I did some hiking. I always like to try and keep active during taper weeks. I usually try and run most days, but it's always better to over rest and then do too much, obviously. So training's been pretty good recently, feeling nice and fresh now for the race. So just getting out here today, moving my body. Yeah, so just going on a nice easy run now, doing a bit of errands. It's Corpus Christi holiday here today in Austria, so it's like a bank holiday, obviously a religious Catholic holiday, so all the shops are closed. So there's a couple of shops in Central, so I'm picking up some supplies there, so I can have my potatoes and my veggies tomorrow, the night before the race, as I usually would. I like to keep the same routine. Definitely think it's a great thing to do for you guys as well. Always make sure you try and keep a good routine leading up to a race, and I always like to have my kind of go-to meal, which you've seen before. So yeah, just a nice and easy run today. As I say, you know, it's really important to keep things nice, keep things easy, relaxed on a week like this leading up to a race, especially if it's an ultra race. You need to conserve that energy and really let your body absorb the hard training that you should have been doing up to this point to get yourself ready for race day. So easy run right now, and enjoying these views. Alright, so it's about 10 kilometers. That's it for the run. The guest house just over here. This mountain behind is just awesome, it's so cool. So yeah, so can't wait to get on these mountains on Saturday. Just incredible, the views. Even on that run I was only in the city, I didn't really go too far, but just the views out to the big mountains over at the back there is insane. So definitely want to explore a bit more, but looking forward to Saturday. I'm sure I'll see lots of it, and then I'll definitely be back here again, I think, in the future, to get up some of those bigger mountains. It's been a few days now since the race. I'm back in Wales. I just wanted to talk you guys through what I got up to with my training and how the race went down at the Mozart 100 last weekend. So as you can see, guys, leading into the week, Monday I actually didn't go out running at all, had a rest day there, and then Tuesday was the kind of first run of the week there. So it was my last run in Chiang Mai in Thailand. Tuesday evening I was flying out of Thailand, flying over to Austria for the Mozart 100 on the weekend. So obviously really important for me, if I'm going to be sat down for a long time on a flight, if I'm going to be sat still for as long as that, you know, as long as it was, ended up being nearly 20 hours of travel. Certainly going to make sure I'm getting out the door and going for a nice easy run before all that. There's nothing worse as a runner, I think, to being able to, or having to sit still all day long, especially if you've not managed to get a run in. So it's really important just get a very nice easy run in, make sure the legs are all feeling good, feeling smooth, and that's just exactly what I did early on in the week here. And this is usually the kind of protocol I would have for a race week like this for an ultra. I always like to try and give myself the extra bit of rest I'm not usually having, obviously, to freshen up for race day. So then Thursday, here we are, you know, we got to Salzburg. On the Wednesday afternoon, actually, we had a really big kind of walk around, exploring, which is in the videos you guys saw, up to the fort. So that was quite a good little hike. I didn't put it on Strava, I was just walking around. But on the Thursday, I went out and had a nice little run. So easy taper runs. So on Friday, I didn't actually end up getting out running at all. So Friday was the day before the race. But again, it's just a lot of walking around that day, nothing too intense. It is important to try and stay off your legs as much as possible for a race day, but I do recommend doing either a kind of brisk walk or a nice and easy kind of 15 to 20 to 30 minute jog, just to kind of open out the legs. So maybe if you haven't been running on the Thursday or earlier in the week and you've been really kind of resting pretty hard leading up to a race, it's definitely important to get them moving the day before the race so they don't feel heavy on race day. So then leading into Saturday, race day, so the Mostar 100. So let's have a look at the race and I'll just talk you guys through how it went down for me. So I was really happy, you know, to come second overall for this race. It's part of the Ultra Trail World Tour, so it's definitely a competitive field and definitely pretty challenging. So 105.8 kilometers and 4,500 meters of climbing. So it was pretty steep, pretty technical, pretty rocky, and definitely really challenging and great fun at the same time. So again, I was happy with the kind of average pace there, 6:06 per kilometer, with that much climbing and with everything else involved within an ultra. You know, you're kind of stopping, you're taking on food, taking on water, you know, this for the elapsed time as well. I was really happy with that, really strong result, and to race against some very, you know, world-class athletes there. But yeah, as you can see guys, Salzburg is just a hot spot. It's awesome. Really love this place. Some very big mountains there, nearly edging onto kind of 4,000 meters. So within the race, we didn't actually get to too much of a high part. The Schafferberg was the highest climb at just over 1,200 meters, 1,300 meters or something like that. So high enough for sure, but definitely some big mountains there to explore. But yeah, for the race for the most part, as you can see, starting off was actually quite flat for the first kind of 10 kilometers. Before the climb started happening. So for that first 10k of the race, I actually was leading for a lot of the race with another runner from the relay. But I felt very confident in the opening stages of the race. So if you can look at my split, you can see, you know, 4-minute Ks, sub 4-minute Ks here quite nicely. Some good pace leading at the start of the race, and I was feeling good, I was feeling confident. And for me, this is kind of a breakthrough with the ultras. You know, 6 months ago, if I was running an ultra, I certainly wouldn't be leading out the race. We'd just be sitting in with everyone and waiting for see what any moves anyone was doing. But I was feeling very confident at the start of the race. I knew the pace was pretty hot, pretty fast for an ultra, for 100k, mountainous ultra especially. But I just felt confident within myself and knew that my training had gone well, and quite liked the idea of stringing out the field a little bit rather than everyone being bunched together. I thought it'd be fun to make a competitive day from the start and see what people had and see what people wanted to do. So from the start, definitely had some good pace leading in, and then as soon as we hit the hills, definitely carried that pace through quite nicely. It's quite an entertaining section earlier on in the race. I ended up electrocuting myself on the electric fence. Nothing too extreme, but just my leg went numb for a little while, which is quite funny. But yeah, I spent a lot of the day running with Csaba Mehmet, a Hungarian ultra runner, a bit of an ultra legend, podiumed on UTMB a few times. Anyway, at the start of the race, I was leading pretty much, then pretty strong, up until we hit the really big main climb here. So the Schafferberg, this big steep climb you can see in the middle here. So getting to this climb, I was obviously feeling pretty worked, and we were getting up to halfway in the race, but I was feeling good. I felt like my energy was managing really well. Within the race, I was drinking a lot of Tailwind, having a few gels, and obviously having my Runnerville bites and picking up bits and pieces of fruit as well at the aid stations. If you're working as hard as you are within an ultra, you know, especially if you're being competitive, you're working at a hard outlet, you need to get those calories in. I always try to aim to get at least 200 calories an hour, sometimes 300, and I feel like I'm quite good at gauging that, and especially now that I'm using a lot more Tailwind, I find it's a really good way to get those extra calories in, not just relying on the gels or anything like that, making sure that whenever you're drinking, then you're getting in some calories as well, but also being mindful that you're still drinking plenty of water and keeping yourself hydrated is really important. But coming up to this Schafferberg climb, the eventual winner of the race came straight by me. So Alexander Rabensteiner, I ran with him for a little bit on this climb, but he was very, very strong. He was using poles, so this is definitely something I think I'm going to invest in for the future. Coming down then, I was with Csaba Mehmet from this point in the race. So from this point in the race, we were working together on the downhills, pushing them really hard, but whenever we got to these climbs, Csaba was so strong, just bouncing past me, and was really pushing me on and getting the most out of myself, making sure that I was really kind of reaching that next level, trying to keep with him. It was really awesome to be running with this guy. He was an absolute machine. So then you can see, you know, the climbs at the back end of this course were really steep, really relentless. When it got to the
the last kind of part of the course here, so the last 10-15 kilometers. Certainly starting to feel the race now. Definitely felt a bit tired, but I definitely felt like my energy was going well and I was still moving well with Shaba at this point. We were kind of back and forth all day, so maybe he'd get 100 meters lead on me and then I'd get 100 meters lead on him. And this pattern really continued right until the end. So coming up until the last major climb of the day, we were still working together a lot, and it really helped, really pushed us both on. So we were really just working against each other, but with each other at the same time for second and third place. And then coming down the last climb here, I managed to push away and pull away from Shaba at this point. So I was really happy that, you know, got to these challenging stairs at this point, and I still had the energy in my legs to run up the stairs and to run away and to really chase down that second place. Made it pretty challenging. When it got back into the city, had to kind of dodge a few people, but the energy and excitement in the town was fantastic. Running through the streets of Salzburg for the finish line was really, really inspiring. Lots of people all over the streets cheering. Really being very, lots of encouragement along the way and a great atmosphere at the finishing line. So yeah, the race itself was fantastic. Really happy I had the confidence to go with it early on and really kind of push the pace on and have a good strong race throughout. My pace kind of slowed down a little bit towards the end, the average pace, but definitely there were a lot of steep climbs in the back end of the course, which really zapped the legs, obviously, after a very challenging day. So second place on the Ultra Trail World Tour race. I'm very happy with that result. I got the most out of myself I could have expected on the day. And looking forward, I know that I've got a lot of improvements to do. I know I've got a lot of fitness to build upon, and I definitely reckon there's some great performances to come this summer. Okay guys, so thanks for watching. Let me know if you're enjoying these videos. It really means a lot to me, and thank you for all the support. So make sure you put a thumbs up for this video if you enjoyed watching it. Leave a comment in the comments down below if you've got any ideas, any questions. Make sure you follow me on Strava as well. See all my training this summer leading up to my races. If you find me on Facebook, that's really great if you follow along there, so that when I'm doing any of these races this summer and I put live tracking out or any information about them, you guys can follow along too. I know that a lot of you guys are following along, and it's really great to have some of those messages and support afterwards, and it really means a lot to me. But yeah guys, for the most part, I hope you're out there having some great adventures of your own. Let me know if you're racing soon or have any big ultra races or any trail races or any adventures coming up. It really is cool to hear from you guys and to see the support that you give each other as well. So thanks for watching guys, and happy running.